Relationships can seem tricky at times. Really, they're probably quite simple, but when we tend to overanalyze and overthink, really anything can get quite complicated. So there is one issue right there, overanalyzing, overthinking. It can be applied to many different things, not just relationships for sure. But it is a common inquiry that has been observed. People asking about their relationships, and often about questioning why they're alone. So these are the two main inquiries that have been noticed. Being alone. Why am I alone? Why am I not compatible? There are a lot of common questions. And then on the other end of the spectrum, those who are unhappy with their relationships. Well, they're in a relationship, they finally got there, and now they're not enjoying that to the degree that they expected. Their needs and desires are perhaps not being met the way they want them to. So whether you're in a relationship or not, there's the possibility of being unhappy. So we need to acknowledge that may have nothing to do with the relationship. Really, it's hard to say. Because if you're in a relationship and you're unhappy, how do you really know you'll be unhappy without the relationship until it happens? So it's a variable we're not able to really plug in until it's experienced. But for this video, we're going to focus more on relationships, because being alone during the awakening process is a whole other topic that can be very important. So relationships. Now this goes for whether we're speaking of romantic relationships, simply friendships, family, business, pleasure, whatever. Any kind of relationships this can go for. Now, I am not claiming to be any kind of relationship guru, no expert. So if this doesn't resonate, that's fine. When it comes to relationships, I'm not going to tell you what to do. I don't like to tell people what to do with their lives, really. We need to be able to decide that for ourselves. And to allow it to be spontaneous. Relationships, like all aspects of life, could be allowed to be a spontaneous happening. And they often flow the best when they're spontaneous. So, a lot of people say that relationships can be mirrors. And what does that mean, a mirror? Well, when we look in the mirror, we can see things that we cannot see ourselves. We can see more features, more things that escape our eye. We're able to see more, essentially. So these mirrors, these other relationships, can show us what we are not consciously aware of. And that is one of the ways relationships are a blessing, because we are often geared towards looking everywhere for answers, but closest to ourselves. Not within, but without. Relationships are one way that we are reminded of ourselves. Whether it's flaws or quirks or anything. It's not about good or bad, or it's just other people can remind us of ourselves. And how is this? It's because we're all one. We're all simply different variations, different aspects. So it's important to not see relationships as a connection with a separate individual or being, but another aspect of ourself. Not our personality. I don't go around and say everyone is another aspect of Anthony. it's deeper than that. It's not about my name and my personality, my identity as an individual. It's about more of a cosmic identity when we talk about relationships. So that seems to be an important aspect. We don't want to make it all about this other person, this other individual who is doing things we don't like or is doing things we do like. So defining and judging is also another crucial element to any relationship. We need to be consciously aware and observe these kinds of behaviors within ourselves. If we're going to choose to define people, judge them, label them, observe that, be aware of that. Don't just do it unconsciously and just whatever, like it's normal, acceptable. Really observe it. Really see it. Be aware of it. I have noticed that so many people labeling and judging their partners, happy with the relationship to a certain degree for a certain amount of time, and then all of a sudden they get taught these words and labels: narcissist, abuser, this, that. Now, these are tricky situations. I will admit that, especially when we talk about abuse. So I don't wish to dismiss and belittle that. But there is oftentimes observed this aptitude of becoming the victim for a lot of us, regardless of gender. So we need to be careful of getting stuck in roles. Roles are another important aspect of any relationship. What is the role that we have taken on? The act that we're playing. Boyfriend, girlfriend, mother, daughter, sister, brother, son, father, friend, employee, boss. It just goes on and on and on. Husband, wife. All these labels and roles that we may take on. And victim, and victimizer, abuser, and abused. Narcissist. These are all roles that we're either assigning one another or ourselves. And there is this habit, this unconscious habit of getting sucked into them sometimes. Taking them so serious. Maybe for some people they need to be serious. So I'm not trying to judge them or tell them they're wrong. But again, we need to be able to observe it and be aware of it. Okay, I'm in this role, whatever it is. Let me observe it. Let me become more aware of it. Let me expand my conscious awareness of this role that I'm playing, acting out. Because these are crucial towards the relationship. If we get too stuck in a role, it is affecting the relationship on some level, whether we realize it or not. So whereas we may tend to hyper-focus on the other person, the partner or friend or whoever, as being the problem, then we're missing all these perceptions and beliefs that we are working through, these roles again. Identities. So all of these are crucial elements to any relationship. If we want to enjoy our relationship and have a healthy relationship, it needs to be spontaneous. We need to be accepting. So acceptance is another huge aspect of any relationship. We need to accept others and ourselves all as one. We can't go around only accepting ourselves and then discriminate and non-accept anyone else. It all has to be the same, inclusive. We have to treat everyone the same because we're all one.